James here to Bispo. He's starting to hit the tracks and he goes for the gunfight and he wins. Moving into each other's angles. James going for the peak and James wins the gunfight. Tyler, a free fire through the wall. Oh my god, even more. And there we are. He sees the Valkyrie. He sees the head. Hey guys, what is going on? It is Tom here, back with another Tech 1211 gaming live stream. We are back with the ICE Esports 1v1 Premiership, ready to resume this pretty frantic and hectic season we have already seen so far. Only a couple of matches have been played, but they've already proven to be very, very entertaining. We've had Adam with a bit of a surprise win. We've had Tyler down in the dumps at the bottom of the table, and Connor trying to see if he can improve on the previous two seasons he has been involved in. But today is going to be James's first game of the season as he goes up against the current number one in the standings, Will, and I've got Tyler alongside me today for today's stream. So let's bring in the players right now, and Tyler, and let's see what we've got to talk about.
James, we need it so that it's you know, where it's one round and you like say 20.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, if you want to lose, Daddy,
You can only win by 2 rounds, though.
it's fine if it's me.
Yeah, okay, so before we get into what is going on today, let's have a look at what we've previously seen. Let's bring up the Premiership standings and see what we've got to deal with for
He definitely did.
today's
He
match.
heard us talking about Tyler.
Yeah, I heard that.
He didn't need to prove.
Okay, let's have a look, see what we've got so far. So like I said, we've had a bit of a surprise start to the season with Adam not doing too bad, with Connor actually not being last, and Will, like I said, going up against James today. James's first match going up against the number one seed. He was last at one point, yeah, but Tyler has taken that crown.
Jesus,
So let's have a look, let's see what we've got here. So we've got Will at the top, he played one game. Won that game by a +4 round difference. Adam currently won 1, lost 1, and a 0 round difference, keeping it very close there. So he's just holding on to second place, only down to the fact that Connor has a -2 round difference. The only other person to have a -2 round difference is Tyler. He is sitting there with 1 loss so far. And James's first game is today, so we'll see where he sets himself up on the table. If he loses, then there's a very good chance that he will go below Tyler. If he wins, then there's a very good chance. Actually, if he wins, he will go above Connor, no matter what. And if he wins, he'll also go above Adam as well. So if James loses, he stays where he is, and if he wins, he goes second. So it's a pretty big
why can't
change.
I go first? That's a bit racist.
You can't go first, James. Well, no, you might be able to. Depends on how many points you beat Will by.
You know, 7-0.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a very good chance James could go
Played 2
first.
and won 1 and lost 1, yet he's still got the same round difference as me. Does that not say something?
Yeah, that's just because he got dominated by me and then Adam played.
Adam happened.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate way to put it.
Yeah, but Adam happened, didn't it?
Yeah, but you almost lost Connor.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
kill
fine.
your family if you carry on talking to me like that.
Alright,
Well,
James,
James, it's a PG rated.
James, I can literally end your existence in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
same,
back on topic. Let's have a quick chat about what we're going to expect to see from this game. So James versus Will, always quite an interesting game.
Cyanide
Regarding
is
who you
the
think
kind of
is going to win.
Oh,
So,
I'm gonna claymore Will. Yeah, get claymore.
James,
Oh, right.
James, please, no claymores, baby.
This is. I feel like this is the most friendly game that there's gonna be.
yeah,
got
we
so
do
many
always.
good
I think from what we've learned from the past is we always hype up this game. We always hype up this game to be the battle of the two titans still currently playing
I
in
don't
Division
wanna
Premiership.
I don't
But
wanna
then
win 'cause
we
they're not
find out
really
it's
good.
relatively close in round count,
don't
but the
win,
rounds are
did
so
it?
one-sided. Like one round will very clearly
There's
be
been-
James's,
Oh, yeah, no.
but one round will very
Destruction
clearly be
with me
Will's.
on Clubhouse, and then
Clubhouse.
pretty much everyone after that's been close. Well, the one
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a bit close. Like
Those,
7.
No, Will's
that
gonna
great
win it. I
game
think Will's
where
gonna win it.
James was shotgunning, Will walked down and shot him. And that was the end of that round. There's some very questionable rounds against with you two going up against each other.
Because we're so good. Like, we're at such a high skill level that you can't comprehend what we're actually
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, that's what it
Like,
is. That's
yeah,
what it is.
that-
even
James, actually.
even the pros are confused now. Like they have no idea what we're doing because they're so confused at our insane goodness.
Well, speaking of a past there, and Will saying there's only been one game where he's performed absolutely dreadfully against James. Let's have a look and see where we're actually going to be playing in today's game. Let's bring up the map pool. Bring up the map pool, see what map we will be playing at. So will in fact be starting on blue team for today's match, which means he gets the first ban. James gets the final ban. So Will, the map pool is as stands: Oregon Clubhouse Border. No, yes. Oregon Clubhouse Border,
Oregon.
Chalet and Coastline. So Will, your first ban, please.
Not gonna lie, James, you've lost this game. That terrorist got beamed.
Oh, I know. I just absolutely denied by it.
Nice, but we've got the.
He got.
I'm
He
good
started
up to date
shooting
information.
one. You know when you just like flick on the wall and it dies.
Nice that we were prepared for this game in its own.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I'm joking.
Okay, I can't aim.
Okay,
Will,
Will,
you're gonna win.
Will, what map are we banning first? What map are we banning first? You are on blue team, so
I'm
it means
gonna
you
ban
have
border.
the first choice. We're not going to go into border, so James's map, which he lost to me against,
Uh,
not going to be a revisit.
Yeah, well, I don't, Tyler, because I always.
James, you've got your ban. You've got Oregon, Clubhouse,
wait,
Chalet, and Coastline left on the board. Which one are you going to be crossing off
Clubhouse.
the list? Clubhouse. I could see that one coming a mile away.
James,
Will, your
that's the
final
map I was
ban.
gonna ban.
Your final ban, Will, you've got to put it down to James to pick his last two. Which one are you going to make sure he definitely doesn't
I
have
don't
the
want to
option
play
for?
on. I don't want to play on Coastline again. I played it too much.
Yeah, we've already seen a lot of Coastline this season. Thank God that's
That was a
off
game.
the pool. Okay, Oregon or Chalet? Going to be interesting to see which one of these maps we go to. Reminder, Chalet is the new reworked Chalet. So, yeah, we've got Oregon or Chalet. James, which one are you going to be getting rid of?
Alexa, flip a coin. Chalet, yeah.
Okay, getting rid of Chalet, so we are going to be going to Oregon for today's match. It's amazing to be able to see us not playing Chalet for once. So we've played Chalet, Chalet Coastline. We played Coastline for every single game so far this Premiership. So thank God we are moving on.
I need to win.
But yeah,
Why
Oregon
is
has
every
been
time I
a...
go for a 1v1?
Oh, it's for nerves, James. It's for nerves.
Have we seen Oregon
To be
yet?
fair, James, I do
No, we have.
play
We've
it.
Tyler. Literally, this season we have only
that was,
seen Coastline. We've only
haven't
seen
this
Coastline this season. That is
You
it.
versus James, I
Is
don't
that
Oregon do.
That's it. That's it.
That was
We've,
the finals.
we've only seen Coastline this season. We played the show match between me
And
and
that was
James.
Chalet,
It was
by
on
the way.
border. But for season 4, the
So have we
Premiership
not
games.
seen the new
season
Oregon
4.
at all?
Oh no,
Never
we've seen
seen
the
any
new.
of the map
We've
of
seen the
the
new
Chalet.
Oregon. We've seen the new Oregon before, but we've not seen Oregon in season 4.
I will go to the bathroom in quick time.
Okay, well, as the two players depart,
I've finished my week.
Will's just gone for his James pre-match
I had my
pre-match
head
rituals. Yeah, so
I was intrigued.
anyway, Tal, I'm just going to ask you. Obviously, you're going to be casting and analysing this game with me. What are you expecting to see?
Like I said before, an absolute destruction from Will.
Right, very.
No, you want that. It's not expect you want that.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
expected.
I think it's
Oh,
fair
yeah.
to say there is a bit of bias
That's what I
leaning
want,
into
that's
this
all I was
opinion,
gonna
but
I'm not biased at all, I just know that.
Yes, you do. You know, he doesn't like either of us, let's be honest.
Let's be fair, I'm rooting against Will bad.
Tyler just wants
What,
it to
you
be like the
expect to see a
worst
tie?
possible game ever. That's what he wants. Yeah, 6-all England. That definitely cannot happen.
I want to see trash plays from both teams, I want to see garbage aim.
Oh, you got here. Tom, don't
Both
expect
of
that
you
me.
die. I just
Well,
trash
Kyle,
everywhere.
unfortunately, like you, can't both die twice in 6 rounds.
In
So, I mean,
Well, the
Right.
players have been sent the invitations, so you guys want to
what, is this like
get ready
invitation?
for this game. Yeah, it's like invitational games. I've definitely got the same amount of budget and viewership as
James,
We just
I don't,
did.
James, no, not James. Tom, I on that pity invite though. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No more pity invites though now for their invitational with the new system, obviously, or points. So anyway, I mean G2 are pretty much
I'm not
qualified. You should have had an invite.
Yeah, you have to.
You should have.
Yeah, you are.
Mate, I'm
You're already in
am
the
I
game,
able to
but you're not.
just include-
You might be able to. Yeah, James, you're gonna have to switch.
No, don't tell me to switch.
Well,
I
James,
don't wanna
gonna
try.
have
send me
to.
an invite.
Can't switch me.
No, I can't. But I can
That's
just
not an
not
option
start
in this
it.
game. It's like 100
I mean,
years
we
old.
start
already.
Siege.
No. No.
Send me an invite now.
Oh wait,
Innit?
Wait, can I
Isn't
buy-
this game so bad?
can I buy an alpha pack?
That's why we love it,
Right,
Tyler.
boys, on stream I'm buying an alpha pack.
Yeah, have you sent me another invite?
Yeah, I just sent you another one now. Will hopefully
I'm
that.
not getting
I
it.
got it. Can I
For
just
some strange reason.
Yes, change
turn
it.
it
Tyler.
to James Tyler movie one?
Yeah.
Oh, I got Baron Loveback draw.
If it's not Oh Hamburger, don't speak to me.
Have you invited me in? Okay,
I've not
Tom's
even.
ain't
I've not
coming.
even.
Yeah,
I
might not
have
come in through,
told-
James. See if you can invite
I
Will.
can't invite you.
Why not?
It just doesn't pick me
No,
up.
No, you gotta go through the game.
Go onto your profile box, James. Press Y on the game, and then on the invites players section. Because
pretty
you can't do it via Xbox for a private lobby.
Queer.
It's not private though. Don't make it private then.
Well, it's a custom game, so it's technically a private lobby.
Oh, shut up.
There we go, James has come. Yeah, it's just clearly all Tom's fault.
Yeah, clearly mine.
Yeah.
fault. I'm just rooting against you here, Will. Obviously, sorry about that.
Now we all.
I can't wait for my mum to yell my tea to come get my tea. Tom, that isn't on your joystick. Just put a plaster on it and then go. We can play ranked.
Well, what's happened?
Anyway,
It's
moving on.
got a little.
Nothing's happened.
Am I on the
Nothing's
right
happened.
team?
Yeah, James has also got an orange.
I'm not. I'm on the right team.
Just being James.
Yeah, which is good.
I'm on the right.
You are on the right team. Don't change. Bloody hell.
I'm on the right.
Right, you are James. Right, shut up and let's mute up and let's get going. I
Right.
cannot wait
James.
to mute
Right,
James.
right.
Oh,
No.
silence now. James is muted. Oh, peaceful.
Tom, I'm still
GG, Will. Okay, so Tyler, it's just me and you left in. Now I do that usual thing where I ask you who you think's going to win and what you think your prediction's going to be. So hit me with
I
it.
think I'm gonna win. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, okay, well that's a nice one. Okay, who do you think's actually
No,
going
I'm
to win?
joking. So, I really think that Will's gonna win this one.
Are you going for Will, genuinely?
Honestly, I genuinely think, that it's gonna be a pretty confident 7-3, 7-2 to Will. 7-2.
Very confident win then,
7-2
very
to
confident
Will.
win.
I
It's
think it's gonna be a very
that's gone
confident
against
win.
everything we've seen so far this season, because every single game has been close so far this season. I think this one will follow suit. Obviously I don't do the
I'm
predictions
feeling
myself,
it.
but
I'm feeling it.
well, you feel it. Well, let's get on with it. Let's see if you are
I've
right
been-
or
I've been-
not. Let's
been
take
close to
ourselves
I got my. The
Let's
last
take
game
ourselves to Oregon.
100% right.
and let's find out who's actually going to be successful this time. It is Will versus James. We are on Oregon. It's the ban phase. James gets the first and final ban. Will with the two in the middle. We're starting off with our first attacking ban, and let's see who it is going to be. Very exciting moment as we see which anchors are going to get banned, as we see the Capiteo removed from the operator pick pool. Will with these two bans right in the middle, so we'll see which ones he goes for in quick succession. Very quick to ban. He obviously knows who he wants off the board. We're going to see Gridlock taken away, so none of those tracks are going to be deployed along with the fire.
Why are they banning my operators?
I heard him talking about this, but he said they were just going to ban your operators.
Why?
I don't know.
They're gonna ban my show.
Yeah, probably.
Think they're
No,
gonna ban
Mirror.
my show and Echo.
Mirror is the first defender off the board, so let's see what our fourth and final ban will be. It's James's choice, and in 2 seconds we'll find out exactly what it is, and it is indeed Maestro, so no Alder in today's game, no Evil Eyes, no Mirrors.
In the game, yet they ban my operators.
Alright, well let's have a look, let's see. Okay, so James versus Will. Here we go, let's see what this
Well, we know
one
that they
comes
both
to.
have their favourite operators, so there's going to be no ban. What's the word? Well, it's not. The bans aren't going to stop them from playing the best, is it? 'Cause they all have their best operators right at their speed.
Yep, absolutely no impact. The ban phase had absolutely no impact on this game, so
Yeah, it's on me.
well, it has on you, even though you're not even playing. It's definitely had an impact on you. Here we are, we're going to be seeing the first Elite Skin book in the Premiership as Will opts to take the Snowdrift Expert, the man from
I don't think that's a
Canada.
very nice Elite Skin, I'm not going to lie.
Legion being taken
really
out
like it.
from James, so double gold background for these two, and let's see how this one goes. Okay, so top floor on Oregon for the first defense. James taking the Legion in kids and dorms. Will taking Book, seeing if he can do any extra damage with that skeleton key shock.
Because he started using him a hell of a lot, like in these recent months, and he's doing pretty well with him as well. So I think
Yep.
that Will's going to be able to do some pretty damn good vertical play from underneath the floor. But then again, because James is James, he's probably not going to stand in one spot for very long. So maybe I'm just wrong.
Right, well, let's have a look. Let's see what we have got for round number 1. Obviously, we know not to judge a book by its cover. You know, round number 1 doesn't dictate what we're going to see for the rest of this match, but it does set the tone for the rest of the split of that round. The rest of the rounds that James will be, the next 3 rounds, that mentality will be set by this round number 1. So, let's see who is going to be the one with the mental advantage. We've got James sitting in sight right now, not wanting to go for too much of a roam. Smart decision. You don't want to risk your life when it's not needed to be. We'll take him the book, like I said, and he's opting to go for tower, as he's got that 1.5 sight on the C8. Droning it, being nice and careful. You don't, like I said before, don't want to be too risky. You don't want to throw your life away if you don't need to. It's good on this first round to just play careful. You know, make sure you've got your bearings right. And don't take any risks.
In a 1v1, it's never good to over-roam, is it? You want to roam?
Definitely not.
You never want to roam too much. Hello, Adam.
Exactly. Hello, Adam. You join us for round number 1. You haven't missed too much. 2 minutes still left on the clock as Will has blown open the wall going into attic tunnel. And we'll see what James's response to this is. He hasn't really made much movement, though. Just watching the door leading into main. And there we are. Will finds that Legion on the drone, and that drone is no more. Will with no intel left now. Both his drones have been shot, so now he's doing a slow peek round. But James looking to maybe get a pre-fire through the Kid Storm's wall. Goo Mine has been hit, and James now with a very nice line of sight waiting for the Pixel to come into position. Will taking out the Goo Mine. Oh, he's trying to see if he can bait James into him here, but he is losing damage by the second. He's got to take it out, and he does. Although now he's starting to peek into James' line of sight, using the shotgun to try and see if he can see that Legion inside Kids. James now going for a rotate as the book pushes in, but he's stuck on the wall. Now he's having to push in. No, he has pushed in now, and James is able to get a couple of shots off there in a pre-fire, although Will with a pretty easy headshot to finish up round number 1. He did get stuck on the wall, which confused me a little bit there and led to some very bad casting, but James was able to still not take that into his advantage.
Legion was a good operator for James to go then, because Will pushed very fast then towards the end. In fact, no, not even the end. He just was quite swift with his pushing, and it seemed like he had a plan and he wanted to stick to it, because over the couple of minutes of the round, not minutes, couple of seconds of the round, he was straight in the sight, and James clearly was not ready for him to just be there.
Will knew what he wanted to do.
That instant headshot, yeah, he knew what he wanted to do, got in sight, and then James just wasn't ready for it, it seemed like.
I mean, I completely lost all my bearings when Will got stuck on the wall, because the stuff I was about to say, yeah, he got pinged back in the wall, got rubber banded in the wall, and then I was like, whoa, I can't say what I was about to say. Adam has in fact joined us, yes, so welcome, Adam. Welcome. You can speak now, my son. Glizzy Man is here.
Glizzy Man has arrived.
Hey guys.
Hey Adam, well usually we don't usually do this right now, but just thought I'd ask the question. Obviously we usually do it right before the game starts. You weren't here though. Who do you think's going to win, Will versus James, and what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Tyler's gone in a very favoured prediction for Will with a 7-3. What's your response?
I said 7-2.
7-2.
I'm gonna go 7-5.
7-5. So close.
James.
Oh, so we're going for James on Adam. So one of these is going to have to be right on who's going to win. Scoreline's quite varied, but like I thought that it was going to be a very I thought it was going to be a very close game, because every single game so far this season has been reasonably close, apart from Will versus Connor. Obviously that was 4-round difference, but yeah, both your games were 7-5, Adam. Quite right. You won one of them, lost the other, but yeah, but we'll see. So I think this is still going to be a very close game, especially when it's Will versus James. You know, you have the two roamers, the two entry fraggers on our team. So he had multiple opportunities there, did James. Unfortunately, it didn't align for him. But
he did say that his aim wasn't that
again, for the second round in a row, very early on, both Will's drones have gone. And he's got no information apart from his own reticle now to be able to find out where this Legion is. James is playing the strategy game smarter right now. He's getting those drones, and Will sort of throwing them away, being a little bit carefree with them, as now he's starting to push up White Stairs with Ash. Got that breaching round in hand as he blows open the barricade going up White Stairs, using a bit of distraction though, as now he repels back up onto main window. James staying on top of Bombi right now with a very small angle, hoping to see when the Ash does indeed push in. Will, obviously, face-checking it right now with his reticle. Has 0 intel from his drones because they are both gone. As now he gives himself a rotate, and the Ash Charge is a bit of a sound distraction there to mask his entry. As now he's starting to push around ever so slightly into James's line of sight. They're both looking at pretty much each other right now. It only takes one of them to walk ever so slightly forward, and the other one is going to have their head on the floor. But a flashbang comes in from the Ash, as now Will is starting to push a little bit more aggressively, and he loses about 50 HP there as he makes a rotate. He's now looking at the complete wrong side, and James is missing a lot of shots there, as Will is now looking to make the attack. He knows where James is right now, and he's trying to be aggressive as possible, but oh, James with a bit of a wall bang there. He knew where Will was, but he still landed those shots. He misses the easy ones, nails the hard ones, and that's a round 2 going the way of James, and Malaysian able to equal it out. We've got a 1-all scoreline.
James did say that his aim was not good at all, and judging like seen from the first and second round, he was clearly correct with that. Oh yeah, missing that very easy shots.
He missed the easy shots, but he nailed the hard one. That wall bang was a lot harder to get, but he nailed that. That's the weird one. I am a lot like that myself.
Will doesn't need his drones, because the first 2 rounds, Will's not had any drones, but he still managed to get in sight without any issue.
Yep, he's been very smart. Although he has lost his drones, which I think is impacting him greatly. If he did have that extra intel, I think he would have won that round then.
Maybe.
Because he would have known where that impact rotate was. He didn't have a clue where that impact rotate was.
But Will pushed straight into James then. That was 100% James.
Will's got more confidence right now, for sure. He has a lot more confidence. And
He's straight inside.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because of Will's play style, but I don't know. But it seems that Will's fully prepared to just play the game.
He is fully prepared to just send it. We're gonna see.
Before, so.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this next round plays out, though, as we go to our first mid-floor site of the game. First floor, as we find James playing the Vigil instead of the Legion, and Will back on the Ash, which lost him that last round. James obviously not able to go back to Kids. He's only been there for the first 2 rounds. Obviously one bow, so you cannot go back to the same site straight after. So onto Kitchen for his second site. It's going to be interesting to see how well that works out. It's not usually a very popular site, but he seems to know what he's doing. Barricading what he wants, opening up impact rotate holes where he wants. But Will, like we said, not really too worried. He's still got both drones alive at the moment, so we'll see how well he's able to utilise those. But he's straight in already. And starting to push through main and looking to go into meeting hall. And he does go into meeting hall. Trying to find out where this Vigil is. Maybe that's why his drones haven't been so useful so far. You are going to get up against a Vigil, so they're not going to be as effective. That one round where they are still alive. Uses his breaching round to blow open a wall. Now he shoots out the barricade from Kitchen going through into stage. We'll see what Will's able to do with those extra lines of sight being opened up as he looks to make a rotate out of that completely, breaking open the barricade to get out of tower and make a rotate round to the opposite side to small tower. Going to shoot out the static camo. Doesn't want James to know where he is. James being a little bit aggressive, going from main now into meeting. Not using his Vigil ERC7 at the moment, so he himself is not too worried about these drones, as Will now making a push into small tower. They sort of traded locations a little bit right now. James is around the area where Will was. Will's made a rotate. He's gone to the area where James was. But James being a little bit more aggressive, he now knows he's got full control of meeting and expecting Will to make a rotate back through big tower, which Will looks very poised to do right now. If James holds this position, he's got a very good chance of winning this round as long as he can nail those shots. A minute 15 seconds left on the clock. This round has drained out quite a lot. Will goes on his drone for the first time this round after the prep phase, and he's starting to drone out meter, making sure that he is safe. I don't know if James activated ability. No, he hasn't, and James has been detected by Will. Will knows exactly where that Vigil is. Now he opens up the Ash Charge into Meetum, but he's pushing straight into Kitchen. Using it as a rotate, we're going to find each other right now as James uses his impact rotate hole to get back inside Bombay. Now holding the line of sight on the Kitchen door, and this should be an easy headshot for Will. A easy headshot for James as soon as Will pushes in, but a flashbang coming in, second one coming in, and a third one as now Will is opting to make his push around the back through Meeting Hall, using those flashbangs to disorientate James. James very still transfixed on that door as Will starts to push round. The trading locations again is who's going to be able to win this gunfight. Time is running out and Will is going to have to make a push. both of them now staying as safe as possible, especially James holding a tight line of sight, waiting for Viash. He sees Viash, but he doesn't land that many shots, as now Will is going to have to make a push. 15 seconds left on the clock, and he's very low on HP. He's going to have to go for a pre-fire, and that isn't working. James is in a very safe position. Prone, waiting for Viash. He finds Viash, and he lands the shots. That's round number 3 going the way of the defense, as James is finally able to finish that round, and it took a long time.
That was just a game of chicken now, wasn't it? They
Yeah.
were constantly trading positions just without them rotates. They just kept switching and switching. I was kind of thinking that James wasn't going to win that round when he started talking about that, but then he said hit his shots, so... I'm getting a little bit more faith in James. I think he's getting a bit more warmed up into the game now.
I find it really weird how these two, right now, that round, these two are our main entry fraggers, most aggressive players on our team. And yet that right there looked very, very cautious, you know. I mean, Will opened up what he wanted. Usually when you open up what you want, you might use it as a distraction, but then you just go. Will was very unsure about how he wanted to push it. James wasn't really being that aggressive. I mean, if James wasn't doing anything wrong, and neither was Will, they just weren't as aggressive as what they usually were.
No, I think, honestly, I actually think you're wrong about that. Because I think Will, from the first round, is playing hyper-aggressive now. Because if you saw the end of that round, he rushed straight in, didn't he?
No, that's the problem, though. He didn't have any choice. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. He didn't have much choice. He had to get in, though. He had to get in.
He could have tried to bait James into the other side.
But is that hyper-aggressive, though?
But he rushed straight in, though.
Yeah, he did push James back, to be fair. He did push James back into the other side, but then again, when you've got so little time left, a plant's not possible because the defender's right there. They're going to hear the diffuser go down.
Well, I don't even mean that. I'm not saying he could have done it.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying he should have done it. I'm not saying how he could have done it either. But I'm saying he could have done something else than just rushing straight through and throwing his life away.
Yeah, I think there needs to... weirdly, James is the one playing with a little bit more structure right now. I feel like. I mean, obviously I don't know exactly what's going on right now. You know, James could just be winging it and Will actually has a plan. But from what I'm seeing right now, it looks like Will has got a little bit... I don't really know how to describe it. James definitely looks a bit more structured. Not necessarily, you know, a strategic plays going on all the time. Definitely not, far from it. But in comparison of the two, James is looking a little bit more run-of-the-mill. I know what I'm doing, you know, I'm just going to go with what I know. Yeah, a bit more calm, that's a good way of putting it, actually. James a bit more calm. Will, a little bit, he's not playing nervous, not playing scared by any means, but a little bit unsure of, do I want to push this? No, I don't want to push this, I want to take this instead. Trying to outsmart James, but doing it in a little bit of a, in a way which really you can't play against James. You know, you can't do all the strategic counterplay against James because James doesn't play into that at all. There we are. James has found Will's second drone on the shelving unit right there, and there we are. It comes off from the shelving unit, finds James, and hasn't been shot. James missed those shots. Will now rushes in. He's being very aggressive with the sledge, starting to push through the door, but James hears this. He's aimed, he's ready to go, and he's able to land those shots. It's another round for James. Round 4 now. And there we are. Will being hyper-aggressive, like you said there, Tyler, but there's no point being hyper-aggressive if you can't land your shots. James knew exactly where Will was coming from. Sound was clear.
Because James has said, and it's been a bit, and he's shown a bit of trash aim these past couple of rounds. I'm thinking that Will's just saying, "Oh, sorry, I can just rush straight in. James ain't gonna hit his shots." But because James warms up as he plays, James has played a couple of rounds now, so I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's got that aim going down a bit now. So Will can't even afford to rush, because if he does, he's just going to die because James is going to kill him.
It's not looking too good for Will right now. That first round, like I said, we have obviously reached a split right now. Will going on to the defense, that could change things. James on the attack.
Oh, it's also true, the fact that we said they weren't going to plant.
Yep, they said they weren't going to plant. So far, that has been breached.
That's why Will's playing the way he is.
I do say it's really weird that it completely contradicts what I said right at the start of this game. I said whoever wins the first round is going to set the tone for the next 3. And what's happened? Will won the first round, James has won the next 3. I've been completely done in on that one, that little mini prediction of the first stage.
James is pogging right now.
So far, James is looking very dominant, very in control. And Adam, so far you are right. But I think it's also important to remember, James was looking identical to this when he played against me. As soon as he got to that round 5, though, I think Will's got a comeback here because I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance for a comeback. Absolutely, it's not over yet. You know, he's only 2 rounds behind.
2 rounds ahead.
Well, James 2 rounds ahead, Will 2 rounds behind, but it's only 2 rounds. You know, you can easily just win this next one now. You win this next one, you're only 1 round behind. You know, it's definitely not over yet. So we'll see what comes of it. Oh, very close there for James. Bit of a free fire through the window as now the drone is being sent. Oh no, drone's been caught on the ledge there. Drone probably will be sent in very soon. With that bearing 9, opening up the window with Hibana. Will playing the vigil, not wanting to be detected by those drones, and he almost got his head taken off by that pre-fire, although it wasn't the closest shave in the world. James going back to that window now, and there we are. Now he's frozen his drone. But Will with that drone deceiver, or drone, I don't know quite. What would you say, drone deceiver? He's able to keep himself hidden, but not for long. He tries to kill the drone. Doesn't land his shots, and that drone is still very much alive. Knows exactly where Will is, and only now has been taken care of. James making a bit of a rotate though. He's going to go for Big Tower, opening up that window. Again, another entry point that he could go for in the end. He's got a lot of angles opened up right now, and going on his second drone now, which Will swiftly takes care of. James completely blind apart from his gun in hand, as now he's opening up yet another line of sight, opening up the main window, as he's looking to try and see if he can get a bit of an angle into Bomb B. Will, well there we are, going for a rotate through the impact hole into Bomb B right now, and James seemingly unaware though. Thinking Will might come for a push through tunnel. Will, even though he's using that vigil, he's using it very smart. Although I don't quite know why he's using the drone anti-detection system, because he already knows he's killed both of James's drones. Interesting one, but James now pushing in at the bottom of White Stairs. He's made a lot of entry points, but he's not committed to a single one yet. Will hears this, and he's now prone, watching the bottom of White Stairs. James making yet another rotate. No, he is actually retracing his steps as now he looks to push back up White Stairs. Will transfixed on this main window right now. None of them have any idea where the opposition is at. No drones or cams for any of them, but White barricade got broken there. Will knows exactly where James is, so James forced to go for yet another rotate, it seems, but only 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if he's got the time for it. It looks like he's trying to bait this out right now, but no, never mind. He's going for the window, and he's going for the rappel up. It's going to be a big window push. Will still very focused on this white door. We'll see how much time there is left for James to also do anything about this, but he sees the... Oh no, James with a rotate. The brain playing out for James there, and Will, he should have won that round. He looked like he had control of that round. No, James didn't have a clue, and James has won that round by shooting a Will who didn't even look at him once. 4-1 up for James. Oh my god.
I was just about to say, because if Will won, I was just about to say, is it just me?
This is not what I expected.
No. Is it just me, or is James struggling to get inside the building?
Oh, that was the thing. It was major struggling. He opened up every entrance possible. He opened up every entrance possible. Will kept him out. Will did a great job, and then all of a sudden it just comes down to James going, right, I'm just going to push him through main window, and Will exposing his body way too much there. It's unlucky for Will, but at the same time, that is a rookie mistake. You've got to know what windows can see your body, especially ones which are already open. You've got to know which ones can see you. Yeah, you've got to have situational awareness, and Will there demonstrating he had not a clue where James was. No, none at all.
Good God, I was 100% sure that was the last round. Good God, I did not expect James to do that. Because he spent so long trying to just find somewhere to push in, but Will just kept him out really well. It's just at the end that Will was just like...
Attackers have located a bomb.
Whoops.
Unbelievable, Tyler. Unbelievable.
How dare you? Time to die.
Yeah. I mean, Adam, you said that James was going to win this game 7-5. You obviously were the one who was edging James to win this game. I mean, were you expecting it to be this convincing from the outset? Though obviously the game isn't over yet. Comeback still definitely on for James, but for Will. But
I was expecting a closer game.
Yeah, I think all of us were. It's surprising us right now.
No, actually, I think I said my words wrong. I think I actually said it was a 7-2 to James.
Yeah, that's what you said, Tyler. You were very firmly James for the win. Yeah, that's obviously what you said. Yeah. You're definitely wrong with your prediction, Tyler. You put Will to win, which could still very possibly happen, but you said a 7-2 victory for Will, and it is not a 7-2 to Will right now. Not at all. Well, we'll see how round 6 goes. We'll see if James can edge it to the 5-1.
Tom, what time's your game on? Like, how far
1:58 right now. Oh, 57.
Oh, that's less I've had.
Yeah, it's a good,
Good 20-second delay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 20. Okay.
To be fair, that's usually what you've got it
I'm
at, though.
built different, Tyler.
It's usually about 20 seconds.
I didn't need to be built different.
Yeah. I've only
So,
got 20 seconds.
hopefully it's not too delayed for you guys. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be any more delayed than usual. So.
I mean, I've only just hit 2 minutes now.
On mine, James just threw out a drone. Like, he just threw out his drone.
He just threw his drum for me then.
Yeah.
Now he's
So
in
we're a bit behind. So it'll be like 20 seconds before you get our opinion on the round. So
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
Nothing you guys can do about that.
So Tom will be starting the
I
next
can
round
come
while
to your
we're
house.
commenting on this one.
You could just do that, Tyler. To be fair.
Oh, I'll just sit on you. I'll just sit outside your window.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
sure we
I'm
can do
already there,
that.
On
Tyler.
the
Come on.
second floor.
Come and take the seat, bro.
Yeah, alright.
Adam's keeping your seat warm, Tyler. Adam's keeping your seat warm.
Okay.
Oh, here we are. We might get a bit of a fast round, and a lot of shots missed right there from both of them. They're playing very aggressive. Will definitely with a health advantage, and James very low right now, missing shots with the bear in 9, and James with about 10 health left right now. Will has only lost about 30. Will playing that vigil though. He's kept control of his gun a little bit better. James opting to go for the bear in 9 after running out of ammo in his AR, and none of those shots landed. Will landed a couple. It was, yeah, he outlined him. It was dreadful aim right there.
Oh my god.
That was my aim.
Although we know exactly where the vigil is right now. James, I don't think he's got the health to take any fight really. He's got to outsmart Will. Any heads-up gunfight is going to go the way of the vigil, undoubtedly. Vigil knows exactly where this Hibana is, but there's only almost 10 seconds left on the clock right now. James has got to do something, and with this health advantage, this is Will's round to lose, absolutely. We'll see what James does though. He goes for a rotate, and he's now going to be playing in bunks. Will hears this, goes for a pre-fire, doesn't land the shots though, he does the final bullets in his clip. The final bullets in his clip, and Will is able to just keep himself in this game. Round number 6 going the way of the vigil. Ooh, he should have landed shots before that, but luckily he got that.
Zero chance James is winning.
There's no way he should have. Thank God he didn't.
Oh, yeah.
2-4 the scoreline now.
Okay. That was good from Will here and James running in there, knowing that
He
That's what
almost,
he's gonna
to
be
be
in
fair,
pre-fire
he did,
with a
like
shot.
from what he said, he did almost lose that round.
He did.
Yeah,
he
did
was
almost lose
close.
it.
He was
Allowing
close.
James to enter the side without a kill him
James,
beforehand
it
was-
will. It seems
could
like
have cost
a very,
him, but
very
they did it as
defender-sided
shots.
game,
So
this game. Yeah.
Seemingly so, very defender-sided so far.
Very
We have
defender-sided.
seen,
It's just
yeah.
like because of their strategy saying, let's not plan because that's funny. And I'm thinking that that's actually hindering the game because they're just not able to get into sight because it's so easy to just hold the sight. Because all they're doing is just sitting in and waiting. And like by the time they push in, there's like 30 seconds left.
Well, to be fair, though, I don't think the plan I don't think the plant's leans too much. Obviously, me versus James, there was only one plant that entire game, which was me planting when James was very out of sight. Now, there was a couple of baits, you know, with me doing. I think I did 2 plants where I tried to get it down, / baited James, and there was one time where James did the same to me, but no one actually. That game, James was 5-1 up, and then it ended a 8-6 victory to me.
Oh, that's
I
tough.
still remain the only person to beat you. Still.
Yeah, you still remain the only person to beat me.
Now, what do you mean I beat you in all my games?
Yo.
Unfortunately, Tyler is the only person to beat me. That is an unfortunate statistic. However, that was a very fun game. I'm glad I won it. Won it. I can't speak today.
Tom
Win.
win it, man.
I winned it. I winned it.
Tom wind
can I
up.
hear- Wait, is it just me or can I hear you?
Shut up. Okay, anyway, moving on with this round. 2 minutes, 20 seconds for James to try and claw back his massive advantage, which he just lost that last round.
The big roam.
Will is going for a mega run right now. He's playing Malusi at in the basement, not basement, in the mid-floor site at Small Tower and Kitchen. We'll see what James is able to do. The first twitch we'll see of this game. You do need a bit of decent recoil control for that F2 though, and from what we've seen so far, I'm not too hopeful for James's sake, but he could be able to pull it off for this round. I'm hoping he is able to do that. Oh god. Anyway, the Twitch currently upstairs in Armory, pushing down main stairs. Oh no, never mind. Blowing open the hatch to push down straight into garage and into meeting hall. But Will, here's this though, and he could. Well, James just walking straight into Will's line of sight, and that's the easiest round Will's ever gonna get for this game. Round number 7 going away by Malusi. James falls from garage, from Armory through the hatch. And Will with a nice headshot. Yeah, there's not much to say for that round. Very anticlimactic of what could have been.
So
but
we
Will
know
with the
what's
roam. Powerhouse there.
I was gonna say that roam. I was thinking, oh okay.
Yeah,
Will's
no,
roaming.
he
Then James
dropped
pushed him off
down.
the roam. And I was thinking, oh okay.
Yeah, Will
So,
heard the
James
hatch
seems to be
drop.
pretty
No,
dominant right now.
knew to
And then
push
James
through
just
there.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah. James did not see Will there at all.
He did not have a clue.
He did not see him.
He did not have a clue.
I think it's because so far the defenders have just been sitting in sight really, or just roaming in the room next to it and then pushing back into sight. Will did
Yeah.
a heavy roam that round.
I think it took James a bit by surprise, the fact that it's been, for every single round, so like before round 7, all 6 rounds, all the defenders had just been in sight, trying to deny access. I think both of them really, just led themselves to expect that was going to happen. James putting his drone straight for sight, not looking at what was going on outside, where he was actually pushing him through, and missed Malusi completely, and that's the easiest round any of them have got so far.
The one round that Russian would have worked would have been that round then.
Exactly.
It's just unfortunate.
Although Will with a good operator choice over own though, because we know that this the rush strategy, not necessarily not rush is in like it's a bad play, but the rush is in just going as soon as you see that opportunity. Malusi's best operator to counter that really, the wub for Will is going to play out huge here if he goes for that same type of roam that he went for last round, and James doesn't feed his way into Will's line of sight and goes straight for the push. I think this could be
microwave go.
I think this could be a mega round for Will if he goes for Rome again, and that those banshees play out.
I'm now seeing clutch potential.
You seeing you seeing the comeback.
Yeah,
I told you guys the comeback was going to happen.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in my mind now.
Tyler, shut up.
I'm seeing it come back from Will.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to, and it's not very enjoyable because I predicted a James win.
You did predict James. Well, it's not over yet. James still has that 1 round advantage, and it's only 3-4 to James as well. We're not even at break point, so
yeah,
all the cards still on the table right now.
Right.
Anything can happen.
The boys are following the rule of 2 reinforcements then. See that?
Yeah. Always good to remember. We have only, obviously, with the reinforcement pools, they can place down 10 reinforcements maximum, but for the ruling of the Premiership, for the rules, it is 2 reinforcements max, just to make sure that we've not overdone with reinforcements and no way for the attackers to be able to find their way into sight.
I think we could get away with 3.
We could, but we're not, because that would just complicate matters. Everyone's already used to the 2 reinforcements in normal play, especially the Premiership, so just keep it. No point changing to make it more complicated.
The 3 reinforcements, it affects things like different walls in sight that normally
Or a hatch and
have a limit.
Defense on this game is already inherently favoured. There's no point making a rule to make it even more favoured. Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, I have final say on the rules, and I'm saying that's not changing them. So,
Yep.
deal with it.
Otherwise I'm going to the toilet.
Right.
Nice.
Okay, so we've got 1 minute 10 seconds left on this round so far. James has lost 1 drone, still got 1 very much active though. Used 1 set of his Excarios pellets, not used a single breach charge so far. So not a lot of movement actually been done by James with his utility, as now Will is opting to go for another roam with Malusi, roaming in through showers into kitchen. And we'll see what he's able to make of this roam going through meeting hall. James looking at freezer, using his 2nd set of Excarios pellets. He's only got 1 set left now, as now he opens up the hatch going into laundry. He's now watching for dining room, watching security, but Will on the opposite side of James's line of sight right now. He is in meeting and wanting to make a rotate to where James is. He sees that the hatch is blown, going straight into Bombay from meeting, and knows that there's a likelihood James would come back and attack through there. James is pushing straight down freezer though. He's not going for those already pre-opened hatches. He's going for the impact rotate straight into freezer. And it looks like he's going for the push. Only 8 seconds left on the clock right now, and he's got to either get this plant off or kill Will. The Malusis are going to start playing into the hands of Will right now. But no, James isn't detected by any of them, and he is going for the plant. 3 seconds left on the clock right now, and he could get away with this, but I don't think he will. Will's found him, and that's round 8 going away with Malusi. Will on the comeback, and it is a 4-all game.
No plants. James
Damn.
almost stopped the rule. James almost broke the rules that he made.
To be fair, I
He
don't
left
think James had a
around. I
choice.
didn't see
James
much
didn't have a
that round,
choice.
But from what it looks like, he really didn't do much to push side.
He just seemed
Plant
a little bit
was close to getting
lackluster.
up.
He just seemed a little bit
Yeah,
lackluster. He didn't really know what he wanted
chose
to
a
do.
better location for the plant. Or maybe
Yeah.
near the...
Or he could
Near
have
Tyler's mirror hole.
because he's not allowed to plant. Oh, my
he
god.
is. Like, maybe near where Tyler's mirror stays. Like, if he
Mhm.
planted
I've
around
actually just
there,
found my controller. I just
you know,
have to say
Will
that now.
wouldn't have had enough time to kill him before the plant had went off, and James could have got that round, but...
I think that was hindered as well, Adam, with the banshees being placed around site. He might not have been able to get there in time. So I think he saw the banshee and just
maybe
thought,
that
let's just get this plant off. You know, I don't want to risk not being able to even give it a go with a diffuser plant.
Yeah.
But there's been 3 defense wins, 1 attack win.
Yeah.
So it's
For both sides.
clear.
For both sides.
Yeah, it's clear which side is favoured.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a defender-sided game so far. Usually in the Premiership we say it's defender-sided map. However, for a 1v1, it's not. It's not.
can be
It's
a
not.
person-sided,
It's yeah.
it's
It's
not
not the
defender
attacker
over
defender-sided. It's the player-sided game.
Yeah.
And so far we have not seen that at all. It actually has been very much like Pro League / ranked in that sense. Of the defenders have got that advantage at the moment. We don't normally see this in the Premiership. It's usually either one person taking off, it's a game of tennis between 2 players, or the most unlikely of those of the 3 is that it's a game like this, which is actually following what you expect to see for ranks / Pro League, which is weird. Don't usually see
Instead of
that.
saying that this is a game of tennis, you could just say that this is the rounds are like a game of tennis because, like,
Well, it's not so much.
switch
It's
is
not
just
so
the
much a
same.
game of tennis. Though. I mean, one person's one person's getting all the rounds, and then the other person's playing catch up, and then the other person's getting all rounds, and then the other person's playing catch up. It's
Yeah.
just one person taking an advantage, and then that advantage being taken away from them in an instant. Anyway,
Yeah.
4-all now. Whoever wins this will
hey,
get themselves on break
what
point
if,
for the very first time.
If you're stuck on at 9, I'll be back. I'm
I
gonna
don't
stay in the
know,
party
right,
just in case,
Tom
but
has got a boo-boo.
I'm gonna stay in the party just in case, but I'll be...
No, don't say the fire, leave.
Fuck off.
Boo-boo.
Gonna stay in the
Anyway,
party.
game Tom,
Oh,
game.
goodbye.
Mum.
What? Yeah. Sorry,
Bye.
I got a bit distracted
Yeah,
by
yeah,
it.
go, go.
Yeah, okay, so 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock right now. James sat on top of tunnel, not actually inside tunnel. Sorry, Will sat on top of tunnel with Buck there, that nice elite skin, shiny new elite skin, and breaking open the window into kids, using his shotgun to break open the window into dorms. And he's seemingly just opening up every access point he could possibly want right now with that shotgun as he goes for main window and crosses that one off his list of possible entry
This
points.
is feeling
James
like a
taking the
game now.
Malusi, James taking the Malusi, following in Will's footsteps there, knowing that it's a very good operator, definitely against these 2 as well. With these late round plays coming in, it's definitely a powerful operator to have that Banshee on your side. We're going for the drone, and the only thing it's not actually blown open so far is any entry point from tunnel into the site or into trophy. So we'll see what Will's able to make of this. Using his drone, sees that he is clear. Seeing that he is clear. James with that Malusi sat inside dorms, just waiting for the right opportunity to strike. A bit of a tight line of sight there on trophy door, but Will going for yet another rotate. We're not seeing anyone this game at all sticking with that one push that they wanted to go for from the start. They're constantly changing their mind, and that's what's leading to this time deficit, and that is what leading to there only being 20 seconds left on the clock right now, and Will has got to do something. Those Malusis will come in clutch, possibly again. We'll see what Will is able to do, but never mind. James is going to expose his location, and Will with an easy round. I don't quite know what James
So,
was doing, but he just
is
made
that just
himself
me?
a free kill.
Is that just me? Or was that round a 100% complete deja vu of James's round?
I know what you mean. Yes! Yes! It was.
So-
Oh my god, yes.
James spent the whole round going round the whole map, opening every
Yeah.
single door, wall,
You-
and in the end,
Oh
He
my
killed
god, it
someone
was.
who just did not care about that back window. And now Will, different operator though, did the exact same thing, spent the whole round until the last 10 seconds opening
Yeah.
up every single thing
Yeah.
to get in, and went to that back window, and James exposed himself. That was a 100% complete deja vu of that James round.
You're right, it
Oh
is
my God.
literally the exact same round twice in a row. Well, not twice in a row, but twice. It is pretty much identical.
God.
They both stalled out, the attackers both stalled out, opened up every entrance possibly imaginable, just spent all that round opening up everything, and then as soon as it came down to the last 15
Somehow
seconds,
got
they
the
went,
ball at the
oh,
last
let's
second."
push through main, and the defenders have just gone, oh, they won't push through main? No, they won't. And then they just pushed through main, and they just got the easiest kill of their life. And that is
my
what I've
God.
said. This game, James versus Will, is a host to so many kills that are just like, oh, he just killed him there. That was yeah. He just didn't even. It's not like it's like an intense 1v1 gunfight. It's not like it's a giga brain play. It's not an amazing strat. He's just gone. Oh, he's just killed him from that window that they just walked in front of. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's every single time of these two. It's hilarious. Oh.
Oh, it's funny to watch though. I like it. You can definitely tell they do the same job, can't you? Though? No,
Yeah.
Either, right, to be fair, either Will is absolutely amazing at this game, knew exactly what he was doing, and tried to copy what James did, the whole thing. Now either Will's that good that he did it, or that was just by accident.
I reckon Will just went, oh god, I can't really push through there because he's watching it, but he could easily flick on me from there. I'm just going to have to push through main window. And he was gifted with the round. I cannot believe we've seen that
really
twice in
cannot
one
believe
game.
It's a carbon copy.
It is a carbon
absolute
copy.
Carbon copy of that round. I can't believe that. Oh well. Wonder if we'll have another round.
Well, we'll see what changes this round. We've got James going on the Ella for the very first time. Will with a very familiar book, and they've literally just seen each other. James with the kill. That's round 10. James saying, you might be able to kill me by just looking through a window, but I'm going to play a little bit
Wasn't
smarter,
there another round that was kinda like
and I'm going to be able to find you. Yeah, that was Will playing Malusi, and James just walked straight in, and Will got a nice easy headshot. Again,
Yeah.
these two playing
It's
very,
the same
very
rounds.
similar.
It's
They're
just
playing
the same
identical.
rounds
They are
over and over again.
They are.
Yeah,
It's the same
there you go.
rounds.
Will just walked straight into
Yeah.
James with no sense of mind because James decided to go on that deep roam that Will didn't expect. Oh my god, these guys have got to learn at some point to not copy each other. Oh my god, well I guess maybe copying each other is the play because they're winning the rounds because of it.
They're winning the rounds because
Oh
of
my
it, yeah.
God. What is
Oh
going on?
my lord. Well, we thought I thought it was going to be a very close game, and it is so far turning out to be a very close game. 5-all so far. We'll see what James is able to do.
God.
But whoa. James on the defense now playing the Legion, a bit more of a familiar operator. Obviously, the Ella did work that round, but Will playing the Nook. That's a bit of an interesting choice, to be fair. I wouldn't really have expected the Nook to come out from Will, or anyone really, apart from Adam. Nook,
Me, I would.
bit of an interesting operator. I don't quite know why Will's taking the Nook, unless he just wants the silent ability to be able to sneak in very quietly
Just likes
as he
that.
walks into
True that.
sight. But that might be it. But then again, Nook doesn't work against Goo Mines, so his gadget does not mitigate the effect of those traps that James is undoubtedly going to be setting down into sight. So we'll
But
see how
we do
effective
know
it
that
is.
James always says he never remembers where he places his game man, so maybe it doesn't even matter.
Maybe it doesn't matter indeed. But I think when you hear a Goo Mine, you're going to go, oh, Will's inside. I better make it rotate. So although you might not be able to remember where you placed it, you're still going to have a rough idea
I
of where
still
they might
would
be
say
pushing
that
from.
James, I still would say no for that. Continue talking to tell me.
Well, to be fair, James might not even know that his Goo Mine is detonated because
Fair
there's no
Yeah.
points. There's no points on the side of your screen. And if he's too far away, you might not even have heard it be triggered. So
Might
to
not
be
even know
fair,
it, yeah.
yeah, you might not even know. Anyway, we'll see what Will's able to do this round. But hopefully we get a good 1v1 gunfight for this round, and it's not just just what's in front of him. Easy kill
Oh,
ever.
that's the same round as the last one. Ah,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, moving on. A pretty mundane game so far, but Will opting to take the knock. Like I said, a bit of a niche operator, one we haven't really seen any of these two play ever, really. So interesting that Will's opted for the knock. We'll see. He's obviously got some idea. Hopefully it works out for him, but James is wanting to make
Not
sure
going for
that
the
it
round
is
this time,
the
eh?
worst round possible for Will. Playing that leash and going to be placing down these goo mines, anchoring down to make sure that every door has got a trap on it, and making Will's push as difficult as possible. Will has lost his second drone, so no eyes for him. He's just going to have to go for a silent and quiet push down tower stairs. But there we go, goo mine hit. First goo mine of this round, as Will takes a little bit of damage from that. He takes it out, and there we are. Fires a couple of bullets. James knows where Will is. Will going to have to go for a rotate, and again we're seeing the same thing again. The attacker deciding on a push, hitting a small obstacle and going against it. But never mind. Will opting to stay for that push. He's now going downstairs again, being very quiet. James throwing out a goo mine and very close to being easily killed by Will, as now he is looking at laundry. Bit of a strange one. No, there's no way. There's no actual alert that Will's came from there, because Will hasn't done anything at laundry so far. So a bit of an interesting play for James. Now he goes on cams, hoping to find that Nook, but Nook, a very difficult operator to find, especially if that gadget has been activated. It has not been activated at the moment though, but none of the cameras are in a position to be able to see the operator. James throwing out another goo mine, and now he's focusing in on Bunk. But Will, he's not made much movement from these stairs, and if I was Will, I'd get off these stairs as soon as possible. There are a kill box for defenders, and there we are. He hits his second goo mine. These goo mines are power play for James. He hears it, and he goes for the push. He knows where the Nook is, and he is in a very good position to be able to finish this round. A very smart position, and there we are. We've hit the 10-second mark on the clock again, as now the Nook goes for a push into sight, hits another goo mine, but knows where James is coming from and gets the shots. Doesn't get all of them though. James able to get the headshot, even with a goo mine in his foot. Will wasn't able to win that one out, and it was very close though, and that could have gone either way. Will, with the brain there, knew where James was coming from, but the goo mine in his foot.
Go off, which he clearly placed them in the correct places and use them with 100% advantage, and just rotate around to where you can meet the person and hit the goo mine. James played that perfectly. There's nothing else he could have done. He played that perfectly.
Really nicely played from James. He knew exactly where Will was at, and he made the rotates appropriate to Will's location. For once we got ourselves a gunfight.
Will's being a bit scared. James has gone back to being nice and calm. That's just how it seems to me.
Well, it's match point for James. We have a 6-5 scoreline. Let's see if he's able to take advantage of that round and put himself for a 7-5 victory and put himself second in the leaderboard.
Adam did say 7-5.
Adam did say 7-5.
Will we follow the trend of the previous 3 games being 7-5?
A 7-5 victory for James, Adam said. And will he be right? It's looking very... Oh, God.
Bomb located by attackers.
Oh, Lord.
I remember last season.
It's looking very probable right now.
Like a hat trick, or like 4 games in a row that ended 7-2.
We did have quite a few games that were 7-2. We did have quite a few games that were 7-2. Yeah, and now they're so much closer though. Now they're like a long game, 7-5, really exciting game. Although this one has not really lived up to that name. It's been very.
I don't think I'm excited about this game at all.
No, it's been very. Oh, there we are. Just killed him through the window. What was the defender doing?
What? Wait, what? Hang on. Wait, what? 10 seconds into the round, are you joking?
I'm joking, Tyler. No way. He's not actually killed him.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
No, well, we've got James back on the defence, taking that C5 SMG yet again, but with a bit of a different gadget this time, taking that Malusi. Will on the sledge, so wanting to get a bit of vertical pressure. The hatch hasn't been reinforced, so that's a nice entry point into sight. But James hears this, and he's making a push up white stairs. A very good play from James, and he can find himself another very easy kill. Will very lucky, making a rotate into attic as he breaks open yet another hatch. James pushing through into dorms. He's about to find the sledge, and there we are. It could be a very easy round from James, but they're both avoiding each other, avoiding each other's lines of sight right now. Very well. Frag grenade coming out from Will at white stairs. Not going to land, but he drops straight into sight. He hits the Malusi, as now James is looking for the same hatch. Will drop not 5 seconds before. He goes for the drop as well. He's going to find the sledge, but Will knows exactly where he is. He's going to go for a pre-fire. Not going to land those shots. James going for the impact grenade, see if he can get any extra damage, and he does. About 25 HP lost on the side of the sledge as he makes a rotate through meeting hall. Another Banshee causing a bit of a issue for Will, as now he makes a rotate through the meeting corridor, pushing into kitchen. A pre-fire not going to land, even though James was very close to that. Frag grenade going out, frag grenade detonated. Not a single bit of damage done to James this entire time. He's kept himself safe. We've got 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. A lot faster of a round than the past couple that we have been treated to. Although James playing very close to the stored food. There we are, pre-fire coming out from our T5 SMG. It's a game of pre-fires right now, as now James is looking to walk into Will's line of sight, and he does. It's a headshot for Will. Round 12 going away of Will. The game will not be a 7-5. It's going to be a 6-all overtime game on Oregon. What?
That was so funny. Hang on. There was a bit, you made a call when it was like getting a bit excited into the round. You know when like it's close to the end of the round and you start going like up in intensity? Well, at one point, James was behind the storage area where they keep the food, and he said, and James is behind the stored food.
I knew I said that, and I thought I couldn't think of. Hang on, I've got to say something here. In like this is like in half a second. I've got to figure out what I'm saying, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just stored food. But I can't say something else because this is not the right call, and I'm just there. Like I've done the voice, and it's gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna have to say it. Stored food.
It sounded so funny. And James is behind the stuffed food. See, that's the type of rounds we want to see, though. That was much more.
Oh, that was a great round. Best round so
that
far
was
of this game.
Much better round. Yeah, much better round. And it's 6-6 as well,
Because I could
so
actually,
it's
even
like
though I don't
round
think this is my best casting by far today, at least that round I was actually able to do some proper casting. You know, a bit of high intensity. You know, a bit of a play like that with stored food.
But yeah, no, that was a much better round from both of them, really.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see right there. That's what we want to see. Yep. One of them's got to lose. Unfortunately, it was James who lost out. But
it seems like neither of them want to lose yet, though, because it is 6-6.
6-all, so we still get a couple more rounds of this game, which is always exciting. 4-1-6. Yep, you're right. Again, like I said, a comeback against James more than likely going to happen.
I mean, I never said that Will wasn't going to win. I always said that Will was going to win. I'm not biased. I just said that Will's going to win.
You did say Will was going to win, to be fair.
I did.
Although when it was
I'm not biased.
4-1 up for James, you were very firm on the fact that you thought James was going to win. Although
I could have sworn I said a 7-2 to James. No, I'm pretty sure I actually said a 7-6.
yeah, that's
8-6.
close what he said. Well, let's see what Will's able to do, if he's able to pull a rabbit out of the hat and fulfill that bit of a comeback that he had with the Ash. Here we are, going to push in through main window right now. Ooh, potentially. James playing quite aggressive upstairs with that Legion. Again, very, very confident with his T5 SMG, as now he's looking to maybe, catch Will on the push. Drone has come out, and Drone has not detected the Legion. A bit of lazy drone in there from Will, and James is more than safe and able to pick up this Ash when the Ash enters. But Will's heard it, and he's gone for the pre-fire. James has been a bit overzealous there, and not caught the Ash. He's still sitting there, lying in wait, but I don't think he's going to be able to get this one. Will isn't going to force himself to push in through Master, and he's going to go straight in through Small Tower, and a push into sight. He knows James is preoccupied, and he is going for the side push. James will rotate down white stairs, going to come into yellow corridor, potentially. No, he's going to go for a rotate straight back into Bombay from CCTV at security. Will going for the yellow corridor push himself, though, now. Potential push in through bathroom. Or he could meet James in security. James sitting, lying in wait, waiting for a sound cue to know which angle to peek. Will in yellow corridor right now. Just himself, waiting for that sound cue, waiting, wanting to know when to peek. We've got 45 seconds left on this clock now, as Will is just about pushing into security, but James, there, he's got a nice easy kill now if Will walks into this, lined up straight on the head of the Ash, and this should be a kill for James. Flashbangs coming out, both of them there that Will had left. Will going to run into James's line of sight. James going to win that round. We all saw it happening there. The flashbangs didn't blind the Legion at all, and James with a nice easy victory.
Oh, he's won.
As now he puts himself on match point.
Oh, okay. Them flashbangs really didn't seem to have worked for this game at all, have they? Because when he was upstairs,
Will's put in a lot of reliability in these flashbangs. He's focusing on these flashbangs, thinking this is going to win me this game. If I flash James, it's a nice easy kill. I can make this play
none of them
work.
have flashed him.
Yeah, the problem is you cannot guarantee that those flashbangs will actually blind someone because you can just look away from it. It's not like a Candela.
There was a very good rotate from when Will and James were having that little contest section upstairs,
Yeah.
I do have to say there was a very good rotate from Will, because as soon as he realised, oh okay, I guess James is too
He
late
was
for me to push.
the
He went
problem
straight
with that
downstairs
push.
and went straight
The
to that. He
problem
left it.
with that. Yet he blew up the wall with the axe charge. He didn't push in, and that was what
he
lost him
left
that round. If he pushed in to sight, he would then have had sight control. That would have been a very different round, and he should have gone for that sight push.
Oh yeah. Because James was fully prepared for that round, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, James was
And
waiting
Will
for the
gave him the
rotate. He was waiting for the sound cue, and if
Oh,
Will
he
goes
countered
for
that.
rotate, it's an easier
But
kill
he
than if
played
he's in
into
sight.
his hands. He played straight into his hands. For some reason, he just didn't push sight.
He
Oh,
gave
well,
up.
this is
Will
what
gave up
this is.
sight as soon as he had control of it, and
Had it,
that
yes.
is a big mistake. You don't do that. You do not
Yeah.
take away, even if you're
Yeah,
playing against James, or you know Will for that
Keep
matter.
it.
Two people who are very roam centered. You know, the two roamers of a team. It doesn't matter. You still make sure you have control of sight. Well, we'll see if that small little fault plays into James's hand. It won in that round. Will it be able, put him on match point, will he be able to muster up a victory from that small little oversight from Will? Obviously, that's not the whole end of the story. There have been a lot of rounds here that could have easily gone the opposite way of which rounds they let me rephrase that. There's a lot of rounds so far which could have easily have gone the way of the opposing side, but some very strange and unusual circumstances have led to the rounds being a little bit varied in what we've actually been viewing. Let's see how this round goes though. 7-6 to James. Match point for Orange team. Match point for the attack. However, this has been a very inherently defender-sided map so far this game, and Will saw James on the CCTV camera right there. Knows that James is going for a push through Big Tower, and knows that the Hibana is going to be going for a trophy side push. Will knows this, and he has made a rotate into Armory Corridor. He's looking to probably get rid of this barricade right now. Ooh, a couple of shots coming in from that window, and that has alerted Will. James's exact location, knows from the trajectory of those bullets there that James is in fact going to be on top of the attic corridor. Okay, detection being used by Will here. So say anti-detection being used by Will here. That ERC-7 device that's strapped onto his back, making sure that James's drone is pretty much rendered useless. But there we are. James sees exactly where Will is, sees him entering the site through yellow, and he goes for his push immediately. Barricade unfortunately getting in his way, and those barricades delaying time. A good play for Will right there, making sure that time is burning down constantly as now Will is sitting inside kids' dorms. James using those Ixcarios pellets, opening up the two designated reinforcements that Will is allowed to place. And there we are, all three of them sat down, all three of them on fire, all three of them blown open, as now Will uses that hatch to make yet another rotate, being very smart, being very aggressive, not wanting to stay in the same position for too long. James with a Hibana, obviously a bit more of a support-orientated operator, but those guns can still deal heavy damage as he pushes his way into sight. He now has control of dorms. Will going for a slow push up White Stairs. The plant has not been dedicated to right now, but it definitely could be the case in a second. We've got 7 seconds left on the clock right now, and James does not know where Will is. He's going for a push down White Stairs, and James is going to win it. Never mind. Will should have won that gunfight. It's going to be the attacker to take it away, though. And James with a 6-8 victory. A hard-fought victory indeed for James there. A lot of rounds that could have easily have gone the opposite way, like I said at the very start of this last round.
Oh, yeah.
But James able to come away with a
At
victory.
least the last round was a good round.
Well, that
All
was,
the other rounds
yeah,
were
that was,
nonsense,
again,
that last
we
round
come
was a
down to the
decent
same thing, though, Tyler. Every single round, it's just who can burn out time the best and who can waste time the best. That's what we've seen so far. It's what we saw. We just saw time wasting, and it came down to the last 20 seconds every single round apart from
Fragger actually even meant to do.
Here we are, we've got the
I
two
probably could've done
players
better
back
if I
in
did
the lobby.
decide to not plan.
Yeah, true. Same.
Right, James, this is the way I'm going to look at it. I'll give you your fun game of the season, and then I'll give you the game I want to win. Or I need to win,
Right.
more like.
Right, but
GG.
Well,
That's
James's first game of the season is indeed a win, which puts him up in second place. Will, unfortunately, you find yourself pretty much tied with James right now. So you are both. Oh, there we go. You are both +2 round difference. The only thing that's keeping Will ahead is that I can't be bothered changing Will in the leaderboard. I've got, don't really want to do that because that's a massive pain. But also, I'm just going to say, ruling, this is definitely not true, but ruling, Will won first, so he gets to stay first. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely...
I would also say if Will planted, he would have won, definitely.
There were a lot of rounds that should have gone the way of the person who definitely didn't win it. There were so many rounds which just should have been the opposition's win, and
The
it was
last
just
round.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
My
won.
T came halfway through when I went Ella. My T came, so I had to go
And
downstairs
then
and get it.
the Legion round, right? When I was in behind the couch, I was gonna plan, and then I was like, I'm not gonna be a rat. I don't wanna. I said to James, I weren't gonna plan. It'd be a fun game.
I enjoyed it.
Well, was it last two or well? There was 2 rounds that I think would have evened it out twice, and I swear I should have won them. Like the knock round it was, and then that round at the end.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It's sad.
Well, James, it was a pretty decent showing from you, to be fair, for your first proper game of the season. So we'll see if you're able to bring.
Well, I thought it was fun, but I thought my gun skill wasn't this good.
It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. Well, for both of you, it definitely wasn't your best game of the season by far. But no, I
There was a
thought
lot of body
the fact,
shots.
there was a lot of body shots. But there was a lot of rounds where it was like, oh my god, how did they miss those shots? Aren't these two meant to be
You didn't have
strikers?
2 rounds you copied. Like you had 4 rounds that were the exact same.
I mean, yeah, of course. Why would we break the mold? Going upstairs eating kids is the way to go. I will
No,
survive
it's not
that one.
like they ended. The whole round played the exact same way. You could have done all. How many rounds was there? You could have done all 8 rounds. That was 8 rounds, wasn't it?
No, that was more than 8
More
rounds,
than 8,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Because it was an
James
8-6
got 8, I
victory.
got 6.
So if you have A, add 6, Tyler. What number do you get?
42.
I don't think you get 12, Tyler. I think it's
You could have
16.
had 16 rounds. No, 14 total. 7 and
Yeah,
7.
14, sorry, this one.
Tyler, you did also speak 16 to begin with then.
Yeah, but
you
I'm
started
on
saying
but I
16.
said it on purpose. But I'm on purpose.
Was.
Right, anyway,
I'm
what
also
were you
dyslexic, is the
saying?
only dyslexic one, which is James.
Boom.
I was gonna. You could have played all 14 rounds the exact same instead of just playing 4. Come on.
Yeah, but then we'll just be copying you playing rank.
Yeah, but why would
Oh.
And to be fair, you say that, but there's some of the times that if you kept on pushing the same way instead of making it rotate, you would have won. But you didn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of, for both of you, there was a lot of opening up every single entrance possible, but then not actually focusing on a single push, and that's what
Exactly.
led
So
to
you
so
say-
many rounds going down to
You
the last
say
20
that
seconds.
I don't move at all, but you over rotate.
I wondered.
You know,
that. It
one
worked.
Tyler, not an actual game.
It didn't work.
It did work, because I won.
I'm talking about both of you.
Will almost won, so yeah, I say it worked.
No.
And for the
The
fact
rounds
we
you
weren't
lost, I mean.
we weren't properly playing either. We weren't there like
Innit?
full on sweat
Tyler,
mode.
right? I wasn't
Why
playing
not?
like I did last time in this game. James was eating his food. I mean,
Because we wanted fun. I mean, it was a good game though.
To be fair,
It
that's
was-
not mine.
Was a good game.
I mean,
Well,
normally
was
I
it was
mute
quite fun.
everybody and then just play how I want to play. There, I actually wanted a bit enjoyable, competitive gaming moments.
No. Me and Will.
There were some
I
very
think
good
the
rounds. There were some very good rounds, to be fair. Yeah, it wasn't the most consistent game for power plays.
That's
Which
But,
rounds? Which rounds were the 2 very good ones?
There was
the
a
very last one, and the.
That's 2 out of
I can't
14.
remember.
Jeez, that's a record, that is.
Anyway, we've got our Premiership standings finished, so we'll just bring those up on the screen for you guys to have a quick gander at, see what's changed in this game. I actually could be bothered in the end to actually make the standings accurate and what they
I
actually
think that's
are.
mine and James's closest.
So, I think it probably is. Yeah. I mean, you can't get any closer than what you had right there. That was an OT game.
No, yeah, you can.
With a +2
But if
round
I'd have clawed it back and we have to go do the exact same thing again.
Okay, you could have been closer, but I mean, you round
No,
difference wise, it could have been.
if the vigil round, which I won, well, which I should have won,
Yeah, you should have won.
worked, it would have been closer.
There's
I don't
so many rounds that
understand.
you 100% should have won.
Oh yeah.
The
Quite a
knock
lot.
round I should have won. I did enough damage there
Nah,
to kill
that
James.
that sledge round. Sledge where there's
Oh
T5
my
your
God.
faces. No, to
And
be
then
fair, the
for the
T5
vigil
had a
one-
higher fire rate.
Yeah.
And then when it's
But
near
the
the
sledge
stage,
is just like, it's just like a damage beast, which I thought I would. And then the knock, I put so many shots, I just thought I'd kill him, so I stopped shooting.
Right, so let's just run through the Premiership standings
No, let's not.
at the end of today's game. First
Oh,
place, we have a
Tom has
new
decided to-
first place, James, in first.
No, what?
Obviously,
No.
it was his first game of the
You
season.
said I was first.
+2 round difference. I did say you were first, and then I decided I was actually.
No,
I
no.
realised
I
actually it
believe
wasn't too difficult to switch him round. So.
I believe it. Let Will have it.
No,
Just some
no,
ratties.
no,
Let
because
Will have it.
Will has a loss and you don't, which means that
I
you
don't
go
care.
above. I mean, unfortunately, we're not very far in the season right now, so the round difference is pretty much identical for everyone. Like, it's not too far
Wait,
apart,
what the
so round
hell?
difference can't really play too much into it.
Why has Will played one? No, why has Will won one and lost one, but only played one?
I'm like you, I do
Doesn't
two
matter.
things in one go. Such as
Okay, so
dying
you won and
twice in the same round.
lost, so you won
Yeah.
and lost.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tyler. It has said Will has played 2 games the entire time it's been on screen. So,
I see.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. That
Yes,
is-
it has. Yes,
It
correct.
says 2 there. I'm seeing 2, you're seeing 2, so yeah. There we go. Yeah, so
not.
James.
I'm seeing one.
James at the top
Isn't that
right
right?
now.
She's got
James at
one.
the top. Will close second though. Obviously, it's literally just Will playing one more game than James, but it's keeping him behind. Both of them with the exact same round difference. And then we head to the round difference right in the middle. The 0 with Adam, but he is in between Connor and Tyler. Tyler the only one this season so far without a single victory under his belt. But like I said, we're very early days in the season. Only one game for Tyler.
I mean, if James was to
It was
lose
against
now,
Adam.
Tyler was to win his next one.
I feel like I'm just not going to be able to beat Connor or Adam, but I can beat James and Will. I feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah, sure
I'm
thing.
just not going to be able to beat Connor and Adam, but I can beat James and Will. It's just going to happen.
Well, yeah, there is the
Or if
Premiership
there'll be anyone
standings
that's
right there. Obviously, they will
What are
stay
you doing,
the same
Adam?
until the next
Don't
Yeah.
win it
game.
all in the season.
100%. Lost.
Imagine he
boys,
would
I
lose.
think the next game, just from looking at the table right now, Will's played 2, Connor's played
Me
2,
too.
Adam's played 2, Tyler and James
Hmm.
have played 1. I think it's
I don't
going to
wanna
be
do
the
it that
legendary game, James versus Tyler. It's going to have to be the
wanna do it
next
that
one. So then everyone can have played 2 games, and I can actually have some proper round
Yeah,
difference.
but he's gonna win, innit? This is the one time you'll win and he'll just won't shut up about it. Ever.
Well, James, what you've got to do is make sure that he doesn't win in that case.
All he does is camp outside like a weed.
So kill him.
Where did you?
I didn't, I went outside sometimes.
Yeah,
To be
like,
fair,
like-
James, I did say when you were going, what's his Legion all the time, when I was playing Knock, I was like, I was so ready to sneak on James, and then I just see his Legion and
To be
morale
fair,
drops.
you did say to me, you did go, yeah, you can play whoever you want when you went, boom, and killed me.
Yeah, James, I
Yeah.
think 90% of that game you were using the T5.
No one-
You were using the
He didn't ban
T5
it.
and that was it. You were just using Legion or
Maybe
Malusi
ban Legion,
the
like,
entire
he
game.
was the caster.
we
he was
agreed
the
we were
caster
gonna
for
ban.
me and you. Yeah, true, we banned all of Tyler's operators.
Yeah, you did ban
Just
Tyler's
in case.
operator. We had Capiteo, Gridlock, Mirror and Maestro. I mean, those were some great bans against you guys.
Will went
Send
for the
Gridlock into
secondaries.
third line.
Will went for the secondaries and I went for the mains. Just in case you wanted
I
to
don't
like
play
frag on
Gridlock
us.
anyway.
Well, you might.
Capiteo,
And plus, we know Ellie's watching, so like, just in case she wants to see who you need to ban, I've already got her vote.
She's not. What? She's
Well,
not
we're getting Ellie in the Premiership,
being in the
James.
Premiership.
Is that,
She's not being-
Yeah.
we got a new competitor. 7 members, 6
Playing-
members. How
I
many
mean, she
people have we
beat
got? Sorry.
Tyler.
She'll be Tyler.
Yes. I mean, so far, Tyler, you can't even defend yourself because you actually are the only one who hasn't won a game yet. Even Connor's won a game. Even Connor has won a game.
Yeah,
and
he's
you
still
haven't.
-2, and he's
That's
won
not
a-
important.
He's won one, but he's still -2.
That's not important, Tyler. You've not won a
No,
game.
no, I think
Yeah,
it's one point.
but
I think
Connor's
the fact
played
that
me,
Man's lost one
you
and
haven't.
won one, but he's
Yeah.
still got -2.
Connor's played.
No
me
excuse,
and
Tyler.
Adam.
No excuse.
You played Adam, and you've got the same.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler. Just face it. She joins. Yeah, you're not even going to have 5th place to cling on to. You're going to be sat in the dumps at 6.
bar.
I'm gonna smash my entire room.
Okay, so that was a pretty interesting game for you guys there. Quite a close one. An 8-6 victory in the end. Another +2 / -2 round difference change for the two playing. God, I'm getting a bit fed up of these constant close games. But we are quite excited to watch. And finally, we got our first game that wasn't on Coastline for the actual season. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. It was a pretty decent game, to be fair. Not the best one we've ever seen, but a decent one nonetheless. Next game going to be James versus Tyler, the only two who haven't played more than one game. So we'll see how that one goes. Always a legendary game, James versus Tyler, and those games are definitely always fun to watch. So we'll see how that one goes in the near future, possibly next weekend. Make sure you guys subscribe so you get alerted as soon as the next live stream goes live, and you're able to catch up to see who actually wins that game. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Go follow Ice Esports and my own personal Instagram, linked in the channel art section and the about section of the channel. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye. James here, He's starting to hit the tracks and he goes for the gunfight and he wins. Moving into each other's angles. James going for the peak and James wins the gunfight. Tyler, a pre-fire through the wall. Oh my god, even more. And there we are. He sees the Valkyrie. He sees the head.